Hello, loves. Welcome back to another episode of the Veronica Ramos podcast. It's Veronica, your host. I am so excited for today's episode and I'm so happy that you're here. I hope that you're having an amazing day, whether you're going to work, working out, getting ready in the morning. I hope that you have the best day today. Today, I am wanting to talk about how to increase happiness. I feel like I was wondering what do I want to talk about in today's episode, and I feel like when it comes to the fall and the weather getting a little bit more cloudy, at least here where I live, and with just the winter coming, there's and the holidays as well, there's like this little bug of depression in the air, and just like you just don't feel at your best during this time of year. Maybe I'm just speaking for myself and from my friends that I've seen, and my family and things like that. So I'm like, okay, what helps me lift up my mood? What helps me be happy and enjoy life a little more? And I'm going to share with you guys what I do to increase my happiness. I have been through so many things in life. I've been through struggles financially. I have been through it where I've been really poor, mentally not okay, where I've had family problems, I've had work problems, I've had all sorts of things in my life, and even grief. And I have always looked for the positive in things. Maybe I haven't gone through it all. Maybe I shouldn't say that, because there's people that have gone through some crazy stuff and I don't know how I would handle it. But what I want to talk about is ways I'm the kind of person that realizes that life is not always going to be perfect. There's always going to be something in life that comes up. Everything can be going good, and out of nowhere, something happens with your family, this or that with your job, this or that with work. And I think just realizing that life is not going to be perfect, and that's just not reality, and that's just not how we could expect. That's not how we should have our standards, because it's not realistic. And so, yeah, that's what I want to talk about today. The type of person, I do not like to take away from the thing that is happening to you. I don't like to, when something crazy happens for a friend or me or my husband or anybody in my family, when something crazy, sad, that sucks happens, I'm not like trying to give fake hope. I'm like, no, you are so okay, you are so valid to feel the way, and you should feel the way you feel, and you should let your emotion happen. I'm not the type of person that will also give fake happiness when we know it's a shitty situation. And so I just want to share some things that help me when I'm having a bad day, a bad month, when I'm not feeling my great and I want to increase my happiness and look for positivity in all aspects of life. So the first thing that really, really helps me to stay positive, to stay happy, it's just honestly also tough times in life right now with everything happening in the world. And so one thing that really, really helps me, as soon as I start to feel down and I start to feel sad or angry or just not happy, I start to come down in my mood, I always pull up my notebook, pull out a journal that I have. Highly recommend it. I've been telling you guys forever how important a journal is, or even on your phone notes. I have done it in my phone notes as well. So I'll pull up a note and I just write 3 things that I'm grateful for. It is proven scientifically that when you write down 3 things that you're grateful for, your happiness increases by 80%. And it works. It truly does work. Whenever I'm feeling down, I'll write down, anything that you're grateful for, 3 things, and it just instantly makes your mood and makes you feel a little better and boosts your mood. It's something so simple, but just being grateful for what you already have. Sometimes when you're thinking a lot of negative stuff, you forget about the good stuff in your life. And so just bringing it up again, whatever that is to you, it can be absolutely anything that brings you joy. It could be, I'm grateful that I had lunch with my friend. I am grateful that I am healthy. I am grateful that I was able to pay my rent this month. I am grateful that I have a loving husband. I am grateful that my kids are healthy. Those are things that really help me, especially the health. I feel like the health, anything can be happening in the world, but as long as we have health, it is everything. And yeah, it just really helps. I'm grateful for the coffee I had this morning. I'm grateful, it could be anything. Next one is to surround yourself with people who uplift you and surround yourself with things that uplift you. Check who you're hanging around with, who your surroundings are. I know sometimes it's hard with work, but try to find ways to limit conversations and things with people who are negative, who are constantly, they're being, what is that word? Pessimistic? I don't know the word, but where they're just being super negative over everything. You can't tell them anything because they find something negative to say and just bring down your good vibes. Like, make sure that you protect that energy. Think about, when you're going to work, when you're going somewhere, when you're home, what are you watching? For me, I try not to watch like things that will give me anxiety, that will get me like feeling down. I try to watch things like, if I do have a moment to watch TV, I want it to be things that uplift my mood, my even like, I'm not saying you can't go watch, TV, like a good show. No, you can, but find something that's going to make you feel good, not bring you down and just give you anxiety and make you feel down. Who you hang out with, like I said, matters so much. When you're hanging around with people who are constantly talking negativity and being negative, then it starts to, connect with you, and then you start to be negative, and then with that negative comes more negative thoughts and more negative thoughts. So make sure that you watch who you're surrounding yourself with and remove yourself from toxic environments as well. If you're somewhere where you're always constantly feeling down, feeling sad, find a way to get out of that, because your happiness is so, so important. You deserve to be who you want to be. You deserve to feel like you want to enjoy life. And if you're in a place that constantly is toxic and you're constantly fighting and constantly in a negative mood, please find a way to get out of it. I know it's easier said than done, and you'll do it when you're ready. I just really, really think that your surroundings, what you're listening to, what the people you're hanging out with has a lot to do with your mood. I am so quick to get rid of people in my life that make me feel like that just are constantly saying negative things, or constantly like you tell them a goal that you have and they find something negative to say about it, or you say something else and there's always something to say about it. And also limit your exposure to so much doom scrolling. I sound like Kourtney Kardashian. Are you doom scrolling? No, but I'm definitely a scroller. I like to watch my social media, but I have fed my feed, or I have made my feed where it's stuff that I really, really love and things that are positive. As soon as I see something negative that I don't like, I'll just remove it from my page, because it's my page. It's your social media, and you can decide to remove anything you want, and you do not have to feel not even like this a little bit of guilt. Okay, so the next one is be intentional with your days. I listened to a video. If you haven't watched it, I'm going to link it down below, because it literally changed my life. It's such a good video. It's the Steve Jobs standoff commencement speech, and it talks about how remembering that we're all gonna die is one of the best ways to live fully. I know that sounds, it's already amazing what that says. That idea ties into being intentional with our days, because when you realize that time isn't endless, you start asking yourself, am I actually enjoying my life? Am I doing things that matter to me? It's a reminder to make space for joy, purpose, and fun instead of just going through the motions. That video was so good. It just talks about how sometimes even me can just be going with our days and the motion of the things that we want in life, and we forget, like, are we actually enjoying life? Are we doing things that we love? And ever since I listened to that, I wish I would have came across this sooner, but I didn't. But time, we're gonna all die. Like, you guys go listen to this speech. We all have death promised, no matter what. Are we actually enjoying life? Every few days he asks himself, did I do something in the last day or two that makes me happy, that has brought joy to my life? And if you haven't, then go do it. Go do something that makes you happy, that fuels your soul. I think that's a battle that I constantly have with myself, because I am the type of person that has really, really huge goals that I really, really want to achieve. And then I also want to enjoy life a little bit, because I don't want to be miserable, right? So, but yeah, when you realize that time isn't endless and that we're all going to die, you want to look back, and you want to look back on your days and see if you're doing things that make you happy. And that's something that I used to not do. It's crazy. Like, I would just go weeks with just work, mom life, work, mom life, work, mom life, and nothing, nothing that would bring me a lot of joy. And I think that we almost feel like the joy only comes every few months, but no, that joy needs to come in at least every 2 days. Something that you're doing that makes you happy, that fuels your soul. And for me, I found podcast fuels my soul. I found like doing fun videos, because that's just what I enjoy. Going to, shopping, going to get myself a drink, little things, going to read a book. Whatever it is for you, do that. Things that fuel your soul and make you happy, because it's important to be happy and to be able to continue. And if one of the richest men in the world also did that, like, it just comes to realize, like, life is so short. Like, we cannot spend it just, trying to get to a certain goal or trying to do certain things and no enjoyment of life. So that one hit home for me. It was such a good one. And one last thing that I do that helps me bring more happiness into my life is I challenge my negative thoughts a lot. Like, I'm constantly getting rid of negative thoughts in my head. Example one, I'm so bad at this. I always mess things up. Instead of saying that, you can say, I'm still learning and mistakes are part of the progress. I can improve next time. So stop being so negative. Whenever you think a negative thought, reframe it to say something positive. Another example, this project is impossible. I'll never finish it. You can say, this is challenging, but I've handled tough projects before. I could break it into smaller steps. So that's one. Another one is, they're so much more successful than me. Instead of saying that negative thought, you can say, I don't know their full story. I'm working toward my own version of success. Like, reframe negative thoughts into positive thoughts, and then positivity attracts positivity. Like, the amount of times I start saying positive things in my head and all this positivity comes into my life. It's kind of like when you say you want a new car and then you start seeing that car everywhere. When you start seeing positive things when you start saying positive things will happen to you. You're going to see them more. Like, there's been so many times where I'm like, oh, I'm going to find a parking spot fast. And I've just been training my mind to think positive, and then there'll just be a random parking spot there for me in front of the store. Like, it attracts positivity, and also you're seeing more positive because you're looking for more positive. And when you're looking for negativity, you're seeing the negativity more, if that makes sense. But yeah, I hope this episode was helpful in any way. And remember that happiness isn't just something that happens to us, it's something we build through the small things we choose to notice. And I challenge you to think positive and cancel out all the negative thoughts this week and bring in positivity into your life. I will talk to you guys next week.